Welcome to another episode of NBA 2K20 roster edits. Today we're going to go through the all-time Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to make this a real short video because I'm going to make this short and sweet. I only have one deletion and one change to this roster. So basically the gist of this is me going through the stock roster and saying, hey, this is the one guy I would change. Again, as I say in every video, these are just my recommendations. NBA 2K20, you can edit to your own liking. If you happen to not see the person that you think belongs on this team, definitely check in the honorable mention section of this down in the description. You may see him there. So let's just jump right into this. King James, starting small forward. That's pretty easy. Kyrie Irving at the point. Backup point guard Mark Price. Brad Daugherty, center. Big Z Ilgauskas as a backup center. Larry Nance, small forward, power forward. Ron Harper, point guard. World B. Free, point guard, shooting guard. Terrell Brandon, point guard. You're seeing a trend here. We got a lot of point guards. That's 4 point guards already. Power forward, Kevin Love. Shooting guard, Austin Carr. Small forward to back up LeBron, Campy Russell. John Hot Rod Williams at the power forward / center position. Bingo Smith at the shooting guard, and Anderson Varejao at the backup center power forward. So I'm going to just be blunt with you and get right to the chase here. We have 5 point guards, okay? I forgot about Price. So 5 point guards here, okay? Now, that's not realistic. You're not going to have a team with 5 point guards if you're making an all-time team. Maybe 4. And that fourth one's going to be on the reserve list and not seeing playing time anyway. So, I hate to say this, but the deletion is Terrell Brandon. Only because he's last on the list when it comes to point guards. It's not that Brandon's not an all-time great with the Cavs. It's just you can't have a team with 5 point guards. That's really playing small ball. So, let me show you who I added to the list. Hopefully you agree with it. Alright, so we talked about this already. I went through the starting lineup, so I'm just going to breeze through this again. We got Irving at point guard. We got Austin Carr at the shooting guard. King James at small forward. Kevin Love at your power forward. Brad Daugherty at your center. Your backup point guard and Mark Price. Your backup shooting guard and Bingo Smith. Now, personally, I feel you could switch Smith or Carr around, depending on your preference. Bingo Smith, I would overall put as a better shooter. You know, he could light it up from outside 3-point territory before there was 3-point territory. Where Austin Carr is more of a mid-range guy. I wouldn't necessarily call him a 3-point shooter. So if you wanted to switch Smith and Carr around, that'd perfectly be fine. Big Z Ilgauskas, Zydrunas Ilgauskas is the backup center. This guy was heavily overlooked for a long time, but you can see how long he played with the Cavs. Basically his entire career. Oh, he played 1 year in Miami, but he played his entire year. He's one of those guys that just kind of came from overseas and had a long career and was kind of overlooked, but definitely not overlooked anymore on the all-time roster. Your backup power forward is Larry Nance. Nance can also play the small forward, but let's be realistic. You got LeBron James on here, so how many minutes are you going to get as a backup small forward? Because Campy Russell, also a great from the 1970s and early 80s, more like the 70s for the Cavs, he's your backup to LeBron James. So Larry Nance is power forward, Campy Russell is your small forward. This is a pretty good backup list as well. So backup point guard, you got Ron Harper. Now Ron Harper started out his career with Cleveland, and as you can see, he played 2.5 seasons there before he was traded to the Clippers. This is somebody that it's like, well, if you're going to choose somebody else to probably leave the team, I'd probably drop Ron Harper. Going back to the Terrell Brandon theory, you can't have 4 point guards all carrying the ball at the same time. The nice thing I like about Harper, though, is he can play shooting guard, too. So World B. Free, as you can see, he played about 3.5 years with the Cavs as well. You can see he averaged nearly 23 a game all 4 seasons that he was there. This is, again, a point guard, shooting guard, so he can play either position. Same type of player. I don't want to say same type of player as Ron Harper because they're not the same type of player, but same position as Ron Harper. So who do you like more, Harper or Free? Now this is the one addition to the lineup. And you're like, who is this guy? Well, this guy goes back to the 1970s. This would have been Campy Russell's teammate. This probably would have been World B. Free's teammate. Nope, Free was there in the 80s. But definitely Campy Russell's teammate. And Jim Chones, okay, he's that center power forward type. Now you're going to say, wait a second, Hot Rod Williams is that. Totally agree. So all three of these guys, adding Chones to the list, I feel are interchangeable. If you would rather have Hot Rod Williams as your 13th man, perfect. If you'd rather have Anderson Varejao as your 13th man, great. I feel that the three of these guys, any of these three, can swap places. And depending on who you're playing, I feel that this is your defensive specialist, any of these three. You know, they can get a rebound. This would be somebody you would consider, instead of maybe Larry Nance coming into the game, you might bring in Jim Chones or Hot Rod Williams or Varejao to play some defense. Now you add that to Ilgauskas, you got a pretty big lineup out on the floor. So it just depends on how big you want to go. Now if you want to play small ball, none of these guys really fit into the equation. So you can move Kevin Love to the center position, LeBron to the power forward, kind of mix around your shooting guards and your small forwards and your point guard. So who coaches this team? Unfortunately, he's not on the game anymore because he got let go from the Cavs and he went over to the Clippers and he's not listed as the Clippers assistant coach. So I had to create Tyronn Lue. This doesn't look like him. I know that. This is as close as I could get, I feel, with what I had to work with. But I feel the guy that brought the championship to Cleveland, he's got to be the all-time coach. There were others that had more wins, maybe, than this guy. But this guy helped bring the championship to the city of Cleveland, so he's the head coach. So hopefully you agree with my lineup. This one's a little bit shorter. Look forward to your comments below. Hope you enjoy playing NBA 2K20.